you're playing on, mother. I'm up there working my balls off, trying to do somebody a favor, and you mother sucking all over this joint. How dare you call yourselves professional? Ass playing like children up there.
Apart from being one of the greatest drummers of all time, Buddy Rich was also the most irascible man in jazz. In 1966, Dusty Springfield was playing a residency at New York's Basin Street East with Buddy Rich. After several days of putting up with Rich's insults and show business sabotage, Dusty Springfield reportedly slapped him and sent his toupee flying. In an interview several years later, Dusty said that when she finished her stint there, Buddy Rich's band presented her with a pair of boxing gloves. This is what Dusty Springfield had to say about the feud in November 1966.
Dusty Springfield this week slammed back at star American drummer Buddy Rich, who kept her waiting 2.5 hours at her debut at New York's Basin Street East while he introduced celebrities in the audience. Dusty spoke to the melody maker from her New York hotel. Dusty said, "Mr. Rich is a little difficult to get on with, and that's the British understatement of 1966. The first thing was rehearsal. We should have had one on the Wednesday before we opened, but Mr. Rich didn't want to know. So one was fixed for the day of the show. I had 16 numbers to run through, but he took up an hour of rehearsal time putting up a special drum rostrum for himself. So when I went on the opening night, I hadn't even heard half the orchestrations at all. Still, I got through them and we all managed to finish together somehow. But there was all this incredible performance before I went on. I think Rich was bugged because I had top billing, but that was the way the club wanted it. I suggested that I go on before him for the second night. His managers agreed, but that didn't please him either because he said his musicians would be tired after playing for me. His whole attitude has been so unprofessional. He was telling the trumpet section not to play high notes for me. And during my act, he was standing in front of the stage shouting. I just couldn't believe that anyone who had been in the business for so long could do such a thing. He doesn't want any members of his band to back me, but he shouldn't have signed the contract in the first place if he felt like that. The band themselves are marvelous and we are having a wonderful time on stage. There is a great rapport and they couldn't be nicer to me. I've never had trouble with a fellow artist before, especially one with such a big name. He's a great drummer though, I wouldn't deny that. I'm still topping the bill, although I'd rather be on before him because I never know what he is going to pull or what he will tell the audience about me. His introduction is very patronizing to say the least. He is supposed to be doing a 35-minute act, but now he's doing an hour. Still, the audiences are liking me and the papers have been wonderful. Most of them came back to give me a second review because of the mess on the opening night. So many people have called in to see me and there were more flowers than I've ever seen on opening night, from unexpected people too, like the Love and Spoonful and Dave Clark. Burt Bacharach was in and was so nice. And Dionne Warwick, Esther Phillips, Benny Goodman, Tony Bennett and the Swingle Singers, they were wonderful. The new vaudeville band were in last night. They looked very tired, but it was lovely to see them. The best thing of all is that my voice is holding out. I do a 40-minute act twice nightly and 3 times on Friday and Saturday. I'm studying with a teacher, Martin Lawrence, and he is just wonderful. I go to his studio each night and he warms up my voice. He is showing me everything I'm doing wrong. It will take a long time to put it right, but I'm already feeling I can do better. He teaches a lot of the top people and I'm sure he can do it for me.
What do you play? Clams? We don't play 2 bars in 1 tempo. Not one!